Great Falls Public Schools has released their COVID-19 plan for athletic events. We'll fill you in on the latest details. Plus, summer is tourism season in Montana, but have visitor numbers really changed that much during the pandemic? And later in sports, MTN's Isaiah Dunk will take us to Hobson as we continue our high school football previews.
From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN 530 News.
Thanks so much for spending your Saturday with us. I'm Matt Holzaffel. Here's your coronavirus update for today. Our map showing just over 150 new confirmed cases since yesterday. We're seeing 1,430 active cases and just over 6,400 confirmed cases throughout the state. Cascade County reports 196 total cases with 30 active. Lewis and Clark County showing 191 confirmed cases overall. 40 of those are active. Montana sits ahead of Vermont, Wyoming, Maine, Alaska, and Hawaii in confirmed cases in the country. Now here's a look at where we're seeing those 91 deaths reported from. Yellowstone County with almost half of the total, 35 deaths. Bighorn County shows 15. Cascade with 5, while Lewis and Clark County reports 2 deaths from COVID-19. New this evening, Great Falls Public Schools have released their COVID-19 athletic facility and event management plan. The plan says, quote, "It is therefore incumbent upon the district of the home team to ensure that the visiting teams from outside of Cascade County are aware of the terms and of this plan and provide an indication that they will comply with them prior to the activity or event. The aim of this plan is to mitigate and manage the range of risk associated with school sports and activities while acknowledging that there will likely be cases of COVID-19 associated with these activities," end quote. Here are some of the highlights of that plan. All individuals connected to or in attendance of the event agree to submit to a screening process including questions related to their current state of physical health. All participants, spectators, and game personnel will wear a mask or face covering for the duration of the contest and maintain appropriate social distancing of 6 feet at all times. Family groups are allowed to sit together. Players participating in the contest will not be required to wear masks at times when they are actively involved in competition or immediately recovering. The AA Conference and Great Falls Public Schools have altered schedules to eliminate the need for overnight stays. Each participant in uniform will be issued 3 passes to be distributed to parents or their family members that can be used to gain admittance to that event. Concessions will not be offered at any district facility until further notice. Only workers deemed essential for the management of the event or contest will be utilized, and all event workers will be masked at all times. The district also released specific plans for different facilities, including Memorial Stadium, CMR Fieldhouse, and the Great Falls High Fieldhouse. Speaking of school, the pandemic is forcing some colleges to adjust and readjust their plans for reopening for the fall semester. This comes as the U.S. death toll from COVID-19 exceeds 175,000. Michael George with CBS News has more from Brooklyn, New York.
Moving into college may quickly become moving out, thanks to unsanctioned gatherings by students, many putting fun over safety. Crowd scenes posted on social media frustrated health professionals and fellow students.
I hoped that as college students we could have been responsible enough to maybe keep this from happening.
17 students were suspended at St. Olaf's College in Minnesota for partying off campus. President David Anderson wrote students and parents, "This is the kind of reckless behavior that will put an end to our in-person semester, and it must stop." 8 students have tested positive. 50 are quarantined. Syracuse University suspended 23 students for crowding into the campus quad this week. At Notre Dame in Indiana, 336 confirmed COVID cases were reported, leading to a plea in the student newspaper: "Don't make us write obituaries." But the debate over safety isn't limited to universities.
Nice, on the website.
Before takeoff, JetBlue passengers in Orlando, Florida had their own bumpy ride as a flight attendant told the mother of a 2-year-old to put a mask on the child. Though she and her 6 children did not continue on to Newark, others who flew were delayed 53 minutes. JetBlue said its policy is for passengers over the age of 2 to wear masks in accordance with CDC air travel guidelines. And masks, hard to spot at this Alabama high school football game, are required.
And we're telling the people, if there's an outbreak, there won't be high school football.
All this as the CDC warns Americans need to get their flu shots, this year more than ever. Now, schools here in New York are set to reopen in 3 weeks, even as the teachers union is raising the red flags over safety concerns. They say if their concerns are not addressed, they'll go to court or even strike.
Well, back in Montana, many of us south of Great Falls are seeing hazy conditions. Let's send it to our Storm Tracker weather team to get a look outside. Grant Garland here to tell us more. Grant?
Yeah, that's right, Matt. Let's go ahead and get a look outside in Helena. We are definitely seeing those hazy conditions, and that's going to continue as we head into the night hours. Yeah, I kind of get that kind of foggy kind of feel there, and we are looking at this haze until around 9 p.m. tonight. We have a air quality warning until tomorrow at 4 p.m. for everyone in the gray highlighted. We also have a red flag warning for those in Cut Bank that should be lifted right around 6 p.m. this evening here in the next less than 30 minutes, and then those around Butte around 9 p.m. Overall temperatures right now, 88 degrees in Great Falls as well as Helena, 85 in Lewistown, 95 out in Glasgow and Jordan. And it is breezy out there. 19-mile-per-hour winds are whipping in Glasgow, 15 in Great Falls, and 12 in Cut Bank, 19 in Havre. Over the last 3 hours, we have been looking at clear skies for the most part, except for those in Cut Bank, where we've seen a few clouds out and about. And that should be the continuing trend for most of us tonight, with mostly clear skies, 53 degrees in Great Falls, windy at times. For our friends in Helena, well, the haze should be lifting right around 9 p.m. Overall tonight, temperatures are going to be falling down to the mid to upper 50s. Coming up, we're going to talk about some rain chances, though, for this area. But for now, back to you, Matt.
All right, thank you, Grant. In the modern age of ebooks and online shopping, independently owned bookstores have fought to stay open. As coronavirus continues to threaten countless independent businesses, including bookstores, bookshops have shifted from in-person to online sales. MTN's Lindsay Hyatt tells us what the next chapter holds for bookstores like yours.
While bookstore owners across the country struggle to balance the books, one bookshop in Great Falls has fared much better.
We're having a very steady in-store business.
New owner Millie Whalen owes the store's success to steady customer traffic.
People like to come in and they like to browse, and I think being able to see books on the shelves leads them to other books that they hadn't considered.
A selection they might not make when shopping online.
And I think that in a bookstore, it's easier to do than it is online.
One customer of over 6 years, Stacy Berquist, says the in-store browsing experience is priceless.
The charm, the ambiance, the ability to wander up and down aisles and find something new. I don't find that very satisfying if I try to do that online.
Since online shopping lacks the personal touch he needs when finding his next read.
It's knowing that you have a bookseller who's not only a bookseller, but is a friend and who looks out for your interests and calls you up and says, "Hey, Stace, that book you wanted, we just got in. Come pick it up." So I love that. I love that personal kind of contact.
I think the ability to have someone to sort of walk you through and maybe give you areas that you might not have considered and you'd like to explore and enjoy. I think that's the real benefit to bookshops.
A benefit that's not likely to end anytime soon.
The bookstores have been around for quite a long time now, and I'm pretty sure they're going to keep on going.
For independently owned bookstores like this, a new chapter awaits.
In Great Falls, Lindsay Hyatt, MTN News.
Well, coming up, they were supposed to compete in a competition in Kalispell. After that event was canceled, the Helena Dragon Boat Club made their own competition, and anyone could participate.
From Montana's news leader, you're watching the MTN 530 News.
Well, after over 2 decades of coaching track and field at the University of Montana, Brian Schwein recently announced his resignation from the school. When speaking with MTN's Kyle Hansen, Schwein said it was a difficult decision, but ultimately a necessary one.
I think anyone who knows who's close to me and my family and knows the last 5 months, I don't think it's a surprise.
The end of a coaching era at UM came to a close last week when Brian Schwein resigned as the head track and field coach. And speaking with MTN Sports earlier this week, Schwein said since his wife Shannon was not retained as the Lady Grizz coach in April, life changed for him as things got uncomfortable and he decided it was best to move on.
It's hard sometimes walking in that office. I have respect for so many people throughout all my years in that department. It became an uncomfortable situation that was tough to handle. And when you walk in and it feels like certain people are avoiding you and doing things, it's really tough. And I thought for me, best thing I can do is step away. And I think it's probably best for everybody.
Schwayen said at first when Shannon was not kept, he planned on staying, hopefully for a few more years. But as time went on, things got more uncomfortable and his decision to leave came recently.
And looking back, it's been a great run, a great experience. And I'm thankful for every athlete and every coach that I've met along the way.
Schwayen recently accepted a job to work at First Interstate Bank in Missoula in the commercial lending department as the new chapter in his life. Starting as a volunteer assistant in 1994, Schwayen became the head coach in 2008, and since then he saw multiple cross-country and track and field athletes qualify for national meets. He was also a staunch supporter of June Eastwood's story, who drew national attention and plenty of criticism to UM last August when she became the first male-to-female transgender athlete to run in a Division I cross-country race. He said a lot of his athletes have reached out with well wishes and have been understanding and supportive of his decision.
Well, it means everything to me. I think it's a rewarding experience that few people get to have in regards to the connections and relationships you get to build with young adults and helping them mold some part of their character and their ability to go deeper into themselves and get more out of themselves that hopefully they use for the rest of their life will be successful.
In Missoula, Kyle Hansen, MTN Sports.
Schwayen also thanked the school, his family, the Missoula community, and the fans for their support over the years. UM cross-country coach Clint May is expected to become the new head track and field coach in the coming days. The Helena Dragon Boat Club will begin its first annual Big Sky Paddle Challenge on September 1st. The challenge involves many categories such as fastest to 500 meters and the longest continuous paddle. Anyone is welcome to join in on the challenge as well. You choose your paddle-powered vessel, body of water, and the distance. The club created this event after the annual Montana Dragon Boat Festival in Big Fork was canceled.
We really wanted to bring something back to our community since we weren't able to meet in person and practice all summer. And we had really planned on doing a lot of community events that were just not able to happen this year. So the Big Sky Paddle Challenge came out of our desire to be on the water.
And all results must be submitted to the club by September 30th. Guidelines will be posted on our website.
Well, temperatures tonight falling down to around 53 degrees here in Great Falls. Coming up, we're going to take a look at your 7-day forecast. Don't go away.
Storm Tracker weather starts now with Grant Garland.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you have had a fantastic Saturday. Currently in Lewistown, a little bit hazy out and about, but you can kind of still see a few hills in the back as well as the mountains. 86 degrees with visibility down just only at 9 miles visibility. The highs observed today, 87 degrees in Lewistown, 91 in Helena, 89 out towards Great Falls. And looking at, we're still waiting to get our official numbers for Glasgow as well as Jordan, but 92 in Havre. Currently, we typically see temperatures right around 81 degrees, so still well above the average. The record was set back in 1935, whenever it was 98 degrees. That was also the year that the world was graced with Julie Andrews being born. Currently 85 in Lewistown, 88 in Great Falls, 95 in both Jordan as well as Glasgow. As you head on out towards Kalispell, though, looking at 82 degrees. It feels a little bit better out there. It has been a very, very windy day. 31 mile-per-hour winds in the Electric City, 46 up towards Cut Bank, and 29 in Jordan, 41 in Havre. A very breezy day along the High Line. And that's also creating our humidity levels to really drop. 17% in the Cut Bank area, Havre 15, 18 in Great Falls, 17 in both Jordan as well as Glasgow, and looking at around 14% humidity down towards Billings. As far as our burn restrictions, well, we are at stage 1 from Havre out towards Glasgow and also from Billings down over towards Lewistown, local bands, as well as from Kalispell down towards Butte, including Helena. As far as what we're expecting in terms of any clouds, well, we are looking at nice conditions for the most part, just mostly sunny skies up towards Cut Bank, but really has been a beautiful sunny day. As far as what we go throughout the night, we should stay mostly clear. Tomorrow morning, right around 6 a.m., could see a few light showers as they head towards the north in Glasgow. Other than that, tomorrow will be a sunny day. On Monday, we are looking at a mostly sunny day. However, though, we do have a few showers that try to creep into the area, into the capital city right around 4:30. We're only expecting a 20% chance of showers, though, on Monday. How dry are we expected to get tomorrow? Well, we are looking for the driest right around 5:30. 5:30 p.m. we're seeing 14% here in Great Falls. As far as our friends in Helena, we're looking at really the same situation there, except we're seeing 19% humidity right around 5 p.m. As far as our winds are concerned, well, we are looking at 10 to 20 mile per hour winds as we head throughout the day tomorrow. Not really seeing any 30+ mile per hour winds there. And our temperatures, well, they are going to get up to around 94 degrees on Monday before they fall down to 81 on Thursday. Now, here's the interesting thing. Prior or after that, we are expecting a major cool down. How cool will we get? Well, we're still waiting to figure out that. Our models, though, are suggesting we're looking at way cooler conditions than typically expected for this time of year, and our chances for showers and thunderstorms with rain are up. So that's the good news there. We are expecting for at least some moisture to be brought back into the area. That will also help with our hazy conditions, hopefully. You can always stay weather aware by following me at Meteorologist Grant Golan on Facebook, as well as downloading that free KXLH as well as KRTV app. 52 degrees in Great Falls, 53 in Lewistown, 54 in Hayes, and 52 in Havre, 60 tonight in Glasgow. As far as our temperatures tomorrow, we are looking at 91 degrees in Great Falls, 89 in Lewistown, 92 in Havre, and 93 in Jordan. As we continue to go throughout the next several days, temperatures will get up to around 94 on Monday. They will be cooling down to 87 on Wednesday, 81 on Thursday, only introducing an isolated chance for a few showers. On Tuesday, though, for our friends in Helena, that's where we're going to be looking at a better chance for some rain. So that will bring some good chances to at least see the mountains out and about to kill the haze. Matt?
Thank you, Rand. Well, we know that summer is tourism season in Montana, right? If you take a trip to Glacier National Park or any of the other Treasure State's attractions, you always notice the out-of-state license plates. But is tourist season this year any different because of COVID-19? MTN's Katie Miller shows us what recreation experts have to say.
Glacier Country Tourism says they knew summer travel would be different this year.
We technically haven't been marketing Montana. We hit pause on all of our advertising back when this first hit.
Racine Freedy says this summer there have been more young families in the state and they're getting outside more.
And moving into this season, we certainly were not sure what to anticipate.
She's still calculating exact spending, but she says in previous years, Montanans spent $1.1 billion traveling in the state. And anecdotally, that spending hasn't stopped. Here at Bob Ward Sports and Outdoors, things are just flying off the shelves. Marketing manager Ryan Corwin tells me this wall behind me that's usually full of outdoor equipment like this has been pretty much empty since March.
Just gone. It doesn't matter what it's used for. If it's for recreation, people want it, and they want it now.
Corwin says people are looking for gear for camping, backpacking, floating, really anything outside.
Look at the world. We're getting outdoors, and that's all we really can do safely.
He says they've sold about 4 times more boats than they did last year. But at Missoula KOA, it's a different story.
It's hard. Hard not to see all the spots taken, but that's just what it is.
Owner Lori Wisby says they lost $100,000 from cancellations early on. It's still not as busy as most years, and some tent spots are still unused.
Camping is a thing people do to get away from it all, so I'm optimistic, yeah.
But she says she thinks things will be back to normal by next year. In Missoula, Katie Miller, MTN News.
And officials say they wouldn't be surprised if tourist season goes longer this year, with other states facing uncertain futures about school and work from home. We'll be right back.
From Montana's news leader, you're watching the MTN 530 News.
Welcome back. We're continuing our high school football previews. Tonight we'll hear from a team looking to rebound after a rebuilding year last year. MTN's Isaiah Dunk takes us to Hobson.
Following 3 pretty successful seasons with playoff appearances at the 8-man level, the Tri-City Titans of Hobson, Moore, Judith Gap spent last season back in 6-man, where they stumbled a bit, going 5-4 and missing the playoffs. Head coach Jake Stevenson doesn't feel like that will be an issue this year.
There's always a transition year, and that's why it's not very fun to go back and forth from 6 to 8 very often. I feel like we got that out of the way, and your kids kind of get used to the nuances of 6-man. So now that they're all kind of used to it, I think that now they can kind of step up, and I feel like we have a good chance at reaching that next level this year just because of the kids that we have.
Stevenson said the Titans will probably stay in 6-man for the foreseeable future, but he's got a sizable roster this year. Senior Tucker Brown is the lone returning all-conference selection.
I mean, for me, being a lot bigger, it's just a lot more spread out, fast moving than 8-man's just more on the line blocking and stuff like that, which I do a lot more of. I think after last year, we kind of got the grips of 6-man back again. We should have a pretty good season, I think.
One thing the Titans have going for them is that their 3 communities have been less affected by COVID-19, making things feel somewhat normal at practice.
They're kind of in a world of our own right now. Like, we don't have to worry about it here, or it seems like it that way, even though everybody's got it on their minds. So maybe when we end up traveling somewhere else and you see everybody wearing masks everywhere, then they might receive that wake-up call and feel a little more appreciative of what they're getting to do right now.
In Hobson, Isaiah Dunk, MTN Sports.
All right, well, that's all the time we have. Thank you so much for watching, and of course, we'll see you back here at 10 o'clock.